Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! When we last left off, we finally defeated Azane and have arrived at the literal edge of the world. Oh boy. If I'm finding dark crystals, yeah, this definitely looks like a dark place. And I don't have many of the light orb things. Light ores. So I'm not going to be able to keep using that like I used the fire ore in the forest. I'm not going to go back and buy more either. They're expensive. So, apparently there's another location. That forest was not the last place. Okay, what monstrosity we got here? Neat. So Magi Scythe. This agricultural tool was used by Azane to reap souls. Effective against plants. Low chance of insta-kill. Okay, well, first things first. What are you, technically? A lunar snake. Would you be a reptile then? Yeah, you're a reptile. How strong are you? Average. Glad you did not get the first strike there. Stone Spike. Deals non-elemental damage to one foe and may cause bleed status ailment. You know, the issue with these weapony items, like the Stone Spike and the Lightning Rod, I'm afraid to use them, because I might need them for something stronger. Especially the Lightning Rod, because this is like 9 Thunder Elemental physical hits to one foe. Strike them 9 times. That sounds useful for something else. You know, in hindsight, I should have used that against that instant death goat. That's the other issue. I actually have to think to use them. I wonder if ores respawn after camping. How are you walking diagonally? I can't do that. Oh, wow, that was fail. Lunar Fog, which is a debuff. Of some sort. Not really sure of what specifically. By the time I actually start using these weapony items, they're going to be too weak against the enemies I'm fighting. That's how it always is with RPGs. Oh! I'm I'd be totally okay with using one of them right now, though. Don't think that'll help. Here. Well, so much for that confusion. Let's try that again. Target that one while I have this thing be confused. That is working to my advantage. I should heal. Oh, so you guys actually can attack more than once in a fight. And that specifically said critical hit. I assume that I cause a critical hit anytime I cause double damage, which happened a lot. I should start using these mana crystals. Darn it! I missed. I'm not really sure what magic to use, though. I mean, I suppose barrier would help a little, but for just one ally, not enough helpful. Evasion and blind, not necessarily helpful. Counter stance only counters physical attacks, which you're sometimes doing, but not always. I could drown you. That would cause some damage as well as actually poison. I wonder if there's any benefit of poison versus drowning. Is one better than the other? I suppose I could always just do both. I should remember that for future instances. Bosses. I got the stuff that can inflict status ailments. Okay, I'm picking up stuff. Void Orb. Non-elemental damage to one foe equivalent to 1/4 of the target's remaining HP. Nice. I wonder if there's any foe that would be weak or immune to that. Because that could wreck bosses. Hardened Star increases one ally's defense for 5 to 7 turns. You know, it's too bad that Scar can't use any items besides Coma Biscuits. The star-shaped rock may be as ancient as AV itself. Mysterious. I'm going to assume down is forward progression. Although, I'm right here, I might as well actually check. It's not like I'm going to be punished for looking. That is the background that was used for our encounters with the Forbidden Goddess. And the fact that there's a coma plant here kind of makes me think that up ahead is indeed for progression, especially with the giant spike there. Let's take the other path. Yeah, thinking on it, now that we have actually defeated a Zane, I'm betting Ilya is going to step up as our primary antagonist. I was not expecting a waterfall. It's like the game is trying to let me know, hey, you should consider using these items. Hold on a sec. Let's head back up and grab that coma plant at the start of this dungeon. I just noticed that tree down in the lower left. It is a very sad tree. It is all moping. It's not a weeping willow. It is a morbidly depressed willow. No! I bet I'm gonna have to deal with magic. I've got the pumpkin locket, though. I should be okay for this fight. If only I had the strength to step over this goal. That is a dragon. It is a green dragon. The most generic kind of dragon, but still very dangerous. Okay, I'm gonna use some Pokemon logic here. Additionally, let's use this stuff. I'm gonna make you bleed. Potentially. You know what I like about imbuing? That it causes the extra damage, not just with physical attacks, but also magic attacks and item attacks. You are targeting me. I'm gonna... Do we still have that dust? Yeah. Blind is no joke in this game. Don't know that you're necessarily a demon. Granted, it would make sense for a heroine sword to be useful against a dragon. But I feel like you're more of a reptile. No, that is not your weakness. You're only blind for one more turn. It is interesting, by the way, that the Magi Scythe is useful against plants, considering the Heroine Sword is oddly also useful against plants. Hey there, Maddie! Welcome to the stream. Let's try the Magi Scythe. Didn't cause instant death, but wanted to try it out. At the very least, this fight is over. Didn't get an item from that. Oh, that's the other thing I had to quit before. We do want items. Maddie's pointing out that a scythe would be a good would be good against plants. It was a harvest tool. Good point. Ooh. You know what? Kind of think of it. This game, this area also has some very pretty music. Considering we're literally at the edge of the world, I would have expected something more ominous. But no, this is, once again, just kind of a neat place to explore. Also not as deadly as expected. You know, all things considered, this quest has been a lot less painful than that last one we went on at the volcano. That said, with dragons hindering our progress, the difficulty is picking up back up a bit. Is this implied to be a dragon skull? Are you mourning your family? Well, I guess we're gonna... Oh gosh, you're not a green dragon. You're a red dragon. Oh boy. Okay, well, you might have been weak against ice, but can't test that now. Well, there's always a chance of you being weak against water. In fact, that would be the ideal solution. Water against a fire dragon? We'll try that. And also flash. Speaking of mana, I was thinking about how Zane had mana crystals growing out of his body. I wonder if that was the source of his magical powers. Okay, don't be using claws against you. On the bright side, prove that you are indeed weak against water there. Let's drown you. In fact, this is water magic. It's definitely the way to go. Don't really think much about using magic attacks in this game, because most of your spells are not the damaging variety. And in fact, most of your attack strategy comes from imbuement and choosing the correct weapon. They say you can make a wish whenever you witness a falling star. I've never been able to test this. So go ahead and make all the wishes, Lambda. I was hoping I would actually have a choice of wishes. Anyway, I'm tired. There's a good camping spot below, so I'll meet you both there. This would be an amazing place to camp. I mean, yeah, there's monsters around here, but there's monsters everywhere we camp. I've been thinking about Sue and how it managed to come back from the Tuanella. Oh, so that was the same one. I worry that it might help sell Fred's childish dream of building a second mana hill. Lambda. Why build another mana hill when we could reclaim ours? Why waste so much time, energy, resources, and even lives seeking a new home when we could go back to ours? Let's stop ignoring going back to Mana Hill as a possibility. For a reckoning is due. Do you remember the decadence of Mana Hill's elite? The unfair distribution of power? The immense wealth gap? The rigged system determining who stays and who leaves? You think we'll ever find out why Lambda was kicked out? But worst of it all, do you remember the apathy and willful ignorance of His Majesty, Holy King Vikar? Only taking pleasure in delivering his biased judgment. I know that Mana Hill is heavily fortified. But we can take it back by uniting our people. The comfort of Mana Hill has made their people weak and inexperienced in combat, even their military. Survival, on the other hand, has made us strong and skilled. So I say we march towards the kingdom. Plus we have you, Lambda. If there's anyone that people would rally behind for, it would be you. But that king and that danged barrier hinder my vision. We will have to be creative. Yeah, especially if we want to avoid this particular vision. This is not... And I was hoping I would remember the name of that game franchise before I would finish that sentence. What is that franchise where you are typically one person going against entire hordes of enemies? It's the same franchise as Hyrule Warriors, or what Hyrule Warriors is spun off of. Dynasty Warriors. Thank you, Maddie. Yeah, I do not think that things would go so well as that game. Maddie says the genre is Musou game, I think. Anyway, tampering barriers is possible, as Azane demonstrated. And perhaps we could get Road to weaponize mana. There is hope after all. The idea is not as far-fetched as Frederick makes it sound. Some people would rather avoid conflict, but there can't be resolution without it. And you, Lambda, you spark hope. Your heroic feats have made me believe more now than ever in reclaiming our home. It's a chance not only to save us, but to save all the poor souls yet to be exiled. The future Lambdas, Starkus, or Freds. So what do you think? Do you believe in reclaiming Mana Hill? I was waiting for this question. This scene was an obvious parallel to the one we had earlier with Frederick. I said no to his vision because it didn't really seem doable to be going down into a pit that everyone has died in so far, including presumably that robotic bird. Apparently that actually made it out. So it seemed like not doable to take all those mana crystals out of that giant pit and build a new mana hill for us. So now we have this situation. I mean, from a narrative standpoint, I kind of expect to go back to Mana Hill and fight Varkas. Whether that's a good idea... Well... And also, this is another situation where it's like, will my answer determine where the plot goes? Is this that sort of game? In this case, yeah, I do expect to go back and fight Varkas. I'd like to kick his butt. So I'm gonna say yes. Excellent. I knew that I could count on you. We'll make King Vikar regret having exiled us. But in the meantime, we need to find the Mana Stone to buy us some time. Alright, another reason I'm choosing yes is because there is some thought put into this. There is some admittance that we need to plan how we're going to do this. We better catch up with Fred and set up camp. It's getting late. One thing is for certain, we're not going to be able to go on these giant crystal hunts forever. I mean, going into that pit would solve the problem if we were to survive, but nah, I don't see that happening. Just real quick, I'm going to go back to that last Kuma plant and harvest it for some Kuma biscuits. Might as well, it's going to respawn immediately anyway, soon as we camp. I will say, in regards to saying yes to that question, it's a yes with a big honking fat asterisk. I'm not 100% on board with the idea, given that we are taking on some immortal king and his army, but there is a chance of it working out.